My AI consulting company charged $10,000 for one audit and will save a client $498,000 in the first year. But here is what's interesting. We didn't build a single chatbot or even use AI, at least not at first. We ran one AI audit, and what we found made the $10,000 investment a no-brainer. IBS Insurance is one of Turkey's largest brokerages. They came to us expecting a deck full of AI tools. Instead, we asked them to shadow their team for 45 days across 10 departments. What we found had nothing to do with AI and everything to do with why most AI projects fail. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we landed this client, what we discovered during the audit, and how we turned a $10,000 project into a $500,000 transformation roadmap. This is the same audit framework we have used across more than 50 projects, generating over $600,000 in revenue for our AI consulting business. Now, let's start with how we got in the door. When IBS first reached out to us, they had a very clear request. They wanted to know where they could implement AI across their operations. They were expecting us to show up with a presentation full of chatbot use cases and automation opportunities. That's what they would have gotten from every other AI consultant. Walk in, do a few interviews with the management, and deliver a deck that says, use AI here. That's solution-first selling. It's what the industry teaches because it's easy to package and sell. We told them something completely different. We said we need you to treat us like new employees, not like consultants. To sit with your teams for 45 days and watch them work. To see what actually happens in your company day to day. Most managers don't fully understand the actual work that's happening on the ground. Most employees don't even follow the standard procedures the management thinks they're following. There's a massive disconnect between what leadership believes is happening and what's actually happening. So you simply can't diagnose from a conference room. You have to get on the battlefield in real time and understand what people do day to day. That's the only way to see the truth. Look, if you're running this model yourself and a major deal comes your way, and by the way, I'm completely serious about this, increase the deal size slightly just to cover a flight and an hotel so you can audit their business in person. This will make you seem much more valuable and it gives you 10 times better results because you prevent any miscommunication errors that come from remote observation. IBS agreed to let us do this. So we spent the next 45 days embedded across 10 different departments. We weren't sitting in conference rooms looking at reports. We were at desks next to employees, watching them work in real time. And what we found completely changed how we approached the entire engagement. On day 7 at IBS, we are with someone from the claims department. She opens an email from a customer, copies the customer's name and policy number, opens the CRM, pastes the information and clicks save. Then she opens a completely different system and types the exact same information again, character by character, from scratch. I ask her why. She doesn't even look up and says,
the systems don't talk to each other. If I don't enter it in both places, underwriting won't see it.
It's like being in school and the teacher tells you to copy what's on the screen word for word. Not because you need to learn it, but because they want to just share the document. On day 12, we are watching the sales team. Someone needs a policy document from March. They spent 9 full minutes scrolling through their email inbox because every single file at IBS lives in email attachments. 100 people with 100 different inboxes full of PDFs that nobody can find when they need them. Imagine searching 100 different drawers in 100 different rooms every time you need your car keys. On day 23, we are watching a code get processed from start to finish. And this is where it all clicked for us. The sales rep enters the code into system A, saves it, opens system B, types the same exact code again, saves it, opens system C, types it a third time, saves it again. Then he emails a PDF to operations because they don't check any of those systems. Then he even calls them to confirm they got the email. Then he updates an Excel spreadsheet that tracks hands-offs, except two other people are supposed to update it too, and nobody is sure if it's current. We watch this entire process take 18 minutes. 18 full minutes to process one code across systems that should be talking to each other but aren't. It's like trying to send a package but FedEx, UPS and USPC don't communicate with each other at all. So you have to physically drive the same package to all 3 locations yourself, then call each one to confirm they got it, and then write it down in a notebook that 2 other people also maintain separately. The official process map that IBS gave us said enter client data in the CRM. However, the actual process was a complete chaos built on top of broken systems. This is like following a recipe that says bake for 30 minutes at 350 degrees, but your oven doesn't go to 350. You don't have the right pan and the timer is broken. So you have invented this complex system with 3 different thermometers and sticky notes all over the kitchen just to make the recipe work. And this is exactly what IBS would have gotten if they hired one of those consultants who show up, pitch chatbots on day 1 and leave with a check before anything actually gets implemented. After 45 days of watching IBS's team work, we had all the information we needed. We used a 3-layer framework to diagnose everything we found. Layer 1 is systems, Layer 2 is team, and Layer 3 is AI. Think of this like building a house. Layer 1 is the foundation. Layer 2 is making sure people know how to live in the house. Layer 3 is adding solar panel and smart technology. If you skip straight to layer 3 and install solar panels on a house with cracks in the foundation, you're putting expensive equipment on a building that's going to collapse. Now, let me show you what we found at each layer at IBS. Layer 1 is infrastructure. Where does information live? How does it move? Do you have one source of truth or 5 versions that conflict? At IBS, we asked 3 people the same question and got 3 different answers. It's like asking 3 people in your house what time it is, and they all look at different clocks set to different times. Nobody knows which one is right. Now imagine building a chatbot on top of that. The AI pulls from outdated data, gives a confident but wrong answer, the customer complains, and the project dies. Someone with authority at IBS had to decide which system becomes the source of truth, where files live, and how data moves between the teams. That's a human decision problem, not an AI problem. Layer 2 is behavior. What people actually do versus what the manual says they should do. Remember the person from the claims department entering data twice? The sales rep entering codes 3 times? Or the operations team using an Excel spreadsheet that nobody trusts? These aren't lazy employees. These are smart people who build survival tools because the official systems at IBS failed them first. The CRM doesn't have the fields they need, so they make a spreadsheet. The handoff process has no visibility, so they build their own tracker. They are like hikers who found the official trail washed out, so they carved their own path through the woods. If we had built an AI tool that connected to the official CRM, we would have automated a system that people at IBS abandoned 6 months ago. The AI would have been perfect, but nobody would have used it. Layer 3 is where IBS thought we would start. The chatbots, the automations, the custom GPTs. But AI only works when layers 1 and 2 are clean. AI is gasoline. Put it on good fire and you get massive efficiency. Put it on a bad fire and you just burn money faster. Think about a race car. On a smooth track, it hits 200 miles per hour and wins. On a track full of potholes, it hits one at 200 miles per hour and flips. The speed wasn't the problem. The road was the problem. If we had started with AI at IBS, we would have put a race car on a track full of potholes. So we fixed the road first, and then we added the speed. After 45 days, we delivered a 3-phase transformation roadmap to IBS. Phase 1 was consolidating everything into one source of truth. No more entering data twice. No more 3 different answers to the same question. Just one system everyone uses and trusts. We decided to build a custom CRM their team would actually use, then edit every field they have been putting in their personal spreadsheets. We eliminated the reason they needed workarounds. Phase 2 was redesigning hands-off so work flows cleanly between departments. Clear ownership, clear transitions. When sales hands off to underwriting, it happens in the system with timestamps and full visibility. No more Excel tracking that's 3 days behind. And no more "did you get my email" calls. Phase 3 was fixing why people built workarounds in the first place. Missing fields in the CRM? Added them. File system impossible to navigate? Reorganized it. Handoff process with blind stops? Close them. Then, and only then, we introduced AI as the final phase. When data is clean, AI is accurate. When the team trusts the systems, they will use the AI tools. When workflows are clear, AI becomes the multiplier it's supposed to be. We didn't ask where can we plug AI in. We asked if we plugged AI in right now, what would break? The answer was almost everything. So we fixed what would break first. The projected first-year savings from this roadmap is $498,000. That's based on concrete things we found during those 45 days. Eliminating duplicate data entry saves 18 hours per week in claims. Consolidating file storage saves 30 hours per week in sales. Fixing handoff tracking saves 12 hours per week in operations. Add that up across 10 departments over a year and factor in employee costs. You get $498,000 before we introduce AI. When you charge $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 for AI consulting, you are not selling ChatGPT subscriptions. You are not racing to the bottom like the chatbot builders. You are preventing companies from wasting $100,000 on AI projects that die in 6 months. That $10,000 we charged IBS wasn't for a slide deck full of recommendations. It was for 45 days of watching teams work, finding problems that they didn't even know existed, and building a roadmap that fixes the foundation before touching AI. That's a 50 times return. That's what happens when you diagnose before you prescribe. When IBS came to us, they expected what everyone else was selling: AI demos and chatbot pitches. But instead, we told them their systems weren't ready. We showed them how to fix it, layer by layer, starting with the foundation. And that's the difference between selling tools and actually solving problems. You don't need an AI degree to do this. You don't even need to be technical. You already understand business, and that's the hard part. The rest is a framework you can learn. If you want to build a consulting business just like I did, we at Monk have helped everyday people build their own business with no prior experience in the space, helping them hit 10 to 20k in their first 90 days using this exact model. Click the top link in the description to have a chat so we can show you how we can help you do the same. Remember this, AI doesn't fix broken systems, it's gasoline. Your job isn't to pour it. Your job is to make sure the fire is good first.